Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, we will learn how to modify grid item related properties to design complex layouts. Say you have to design this layout, so where you've got a header, a sidebar on the left, on the right, a space for some ad, in the center, some space for the main content, and at the bottom, a footer. And on tablet screens, this right add section, it goes below your main and menu. On mobile screens, even the main component comes in the next line after menu. So as you can see, this is a very responsive layout. On different screen sizes, it renders differently. So let's try creating this. Right now what we have is, we have these a couple of divisions with different colors and which represent different part of our web page. When working with complex layouts, the best way is to split your screen width into 12 columns or 6 columns based on the different number of components inside your div. So if you see here, we've got a 1, 2, 3 rows and 1, 2, 3 columns. So I guess we can go with 6. We can't go with 3 or else giving this extra width to some components and giving smaller width to some components would be difficult. So going with 6 makes more sense. So what we're looking at is 6 columns and 3 rows inside the grid. All right, so coming back here. All right, let's begin. Let's bring up our code editor. And as you can see here, this division, it wraps all our other components and it has got an ID grid container. So let's add some styles to it. So hash grid container. Let's start by giving it display grid. So display grid. And now to design the structure of entire layout, Grid provides us with a property called grid template areas. So here you can specify the exact number of rows and columns and which components will occupy which rows and columns. So let's say grid template areas. And before we could specify rows and columns, we have to give names to all of these components. So for that, grid gives us another property called grid area. So let's say this is header, so header. Similarly, for this we could say sidebar. For this we could call it main. Similarly, for aside, we could call it aside. And for footer, we can call it footer. So now coming here, so to define how many columns are going to come in a row, we have to define 6 different values. So that tells our grid that we're looking at 6 columns. So let's say on the top, we want all the 6 to be taken by header. So we could do something like this. So we will specify header 6 times. So what this does is, it's going to give the entire first row to header. Let's bring it down here. Now, if you see here, so now what we want to do is we want to have this menu on the left and this aside on the right and the content in the middle. So first we can say menu. Then at the end we can have aside, and in between we can add all the main. So we can put 4 main contents here. And after that we just have a footer and we want the footer to take the entire row. So again, just like header, we could do like this. Let's save it. Coming back here. All right, so it's not working. Let's see what's the issue here. Okay, this looks fine. And coming here. All right, so the problem is, for this grid area, we've given it some string values, which it doesn't accept. So we don't need to add double quotes or single quotes to our area names, we could simply give it a value, say header or sidebar, without wrapping them in single or double quotes. So if we remove all this and we save it, we see our grid. It's just that the menu item is outside. So let's see what's the issue here. So for menu, the value is sidebar, and we've given menu here. So let's just update the value. So coming back, and as you can see, we've got the header, then menu on the left, main in the middle. On the right hand side, we've got a right, and at the bottom, we've got footer. All right. Now, if we open this on a tab screen, so like this, let's say iPad, it still is showing the version that we had on desktop. Now to change it, we can add some media queries. So let's say @media, max width, say 900 pixel. And all we have to do is just update this grid template areas. So as you can see here, so on the tablet screen, the right or the aside element is below main and menu. So we could do that. So instead of putting aside up there, we can give another row to aside. 3, 4, 5, and we've got given all the columns to aside for this row, and we'll have to increase one for main here. Let's save it. And coming back, and as you can see, we've got menu, and on the right hand side we've got main. All right. Similarly, for small mobile screens, what we want is this main to also go in the next row. So for that, we can have another media query. So let's copy this. So max width could be 400 pixels. We're talking about small screen sizes. So in this case, we can just give the entire row to main and add another row before it for the sidebar. Let's save it, and coming up here. And now as you can see, we've got a header, the menu, main, right, and footer, all stacked below each other. And if I change the screen size, let's say iPad, it changes, or if we just remove it, it goes back to the desktop version. So as you can see, this is a pretty responsive web page for different screen sizes. It's showing different components at different positions. Now this might not seem like much. So this is just the structure of a web page. So instead of this header, you can have your entire top bar, a well-designed top bar. On this left-hand side, at the place of the sidebar, you can have some menu items on which click you can update your main content. On this right-hand side or aside, you can have an ad section or some suggestions that you would like to show your users. And of course, at the footer, you can have your footer links. That's all for today, guys. If there is something that you did not understand, feel free to drop a comment and we will discuss it. See you in the next video. Bye and take care.